the guide rail that was taken out right here by Cold Bluff Road and Pennville Raymond Road. I've received one quote from Interstate, and it's roughly gonna be $6,500, that's the quote right now, I'm waiting to see if we can get a couple other quotes on that. But it's $6,500 to put on it, that's all wrecked down, it's all junk now. And as far as the state side goes, there, the state, I contacted PennDOT through Brandon Firestone, told me who to contact, that they would have to replace the sign and the poles on it, that's the arrows on, showing the bend on Pennville Raymond Road. The state would have to replace that sign down there, not the township. So whenever we get the other bids on it, we could.
Okay, and by the way, that was just me answering to TJ on the report. I have a lot of other things to say concerning the supervisor's report. In the last week, starting going all the way back to maybe last Wednesday or something like that, I have seen the most unprofessional behavior. I have been lied to by my face concerning other individuals. I have been told things that I absolutely knew before I even had to start checking them out. They weren't true. I have never seen anything like what I have seen in the last week, and I am sick and tired of it. I don't ever want to see this again. I'm not going to go into specifics because I'm not going to break any confidences. I am not going to break what happens in executive sessions. But I'll tell you this, I'll never sit through another one of those. I guarantee you I won't sit through. And that's about enough of what I want to say about that. And if you have any answers for it, the rest of you can answer it. You can do it under your own time and terms. I don't care. But I don't ever want to see it again.
Oh.
What is it you referred to, Chuck?
Oh, you know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I don't know. I wouldn't ask the question.
I
if
won't
did.
break confidence until I'm
I'm not asking to
public.
break confidence.
All right.
Just,
Do you
So
want me
I
to
have an
start
idea
there?
what
Do you
you're
want me to
talking
start the list? Let's start talking about Stephanie Pettit, who unfortunately is no longer doing work for Union Township because one particular supervisor, and I can have that in writing. I believe you guys received a resignation letter already, didn't you?
I didn't see it, so I can't speak to that.
Well, I spoke to her on the phone and I know what's in it. And believe me, she is very unhappy. And now we're talking about a person that's the manager of Canton Township, and I guarantee you, the word's gonna go out. I had the manager in Peters Township tell me when I first came on here, Union Township would be lucky to hire anybody professional because your reputation is so bad that nobody wants to work for this township. Well, it's not gonna be improving anymore now.
Oh.
And believe me, the word will spread easily. Other people will have to deal with this township are not going to be happy with what they're going to be hearing. I deal with Peters Township, not so much Peters, but I deal with Jefferson a lot when I'm down in West Elizabeth. And I can tell you this, they've told me some stories about the previous board, and they're hearing stories about this board that they aren't happy about either. And these are our neighbors that we're going to have to be dealing with on projects. Do you really want to have that kind of a reputation for this township? Or do we want to start acting like professionals? Larry, you want me to get more specific, or do you want to leave it just at that?
well, insofar as Mrs. Pettit, I can say some of the things that I was told. I never had a direct.
What you were told, did you speak
Yes,
to her directly?
I didn't have a direct conversation with her.
I did.
Other than when she left. And while direct conversations with her while she was here. And I know some of her complaints. I listened to them too. As to what the administration wasn't doing. If you wanna make improvements, you know, that's all well and good. I dealt with those types of issues before you were even on the board. Talking to folks in Peters Township, using Mike Silvestri's knowledge and trying to get some things straightened up here. when some of the members of the prior board were here. And I know what Mr. Silvestri told me. You wanna say way back when? We'll say way back when. And I know what Mrs. Pettit told me very recently, not way back when.
So, can we move on here? I don't think that we really need to talk about, personnel that was discussed in executive session. That would be Michael's advice to us.
Yeah, let's not delve any further. into
That's why I
executive-
didn't wanna go
Yeah,
into it.
we'll avoid any further personnel discussion.
Is there any other supervisor reports on anything in the township?
No, just a comment. Linda,
Okay,
Mr. Parrish just spoke to the need, he got a quote evidently, to replace the guide rail down at the intersection of Cold Bluff and Philly Bell Ring Road.
okay,
There was one other instance recently where a portion of the guide rail section had to be replaced. Here again, we're coming back to the old bugaboo of liability.
Yep.
You know, if we let these items go unrepaired, and there's a serious accident that occurs because they weren't repaired, then the township's gonna be in hot water. The supervisors will have abrogated their responsibility to see that this type of work's done. We'll bear the burden, not somebody putting a quotation on Facebook.
any other comments from supervisors on township